Boom, empty. Boom, empty. Boom. Oh, this one's got a camera in it. Anyway, the reason why these are empty, apart from the camera obviously, not because I've been robbed, I'm moving house, which is fantastic news, but I'm going to be without the internet for a few days, and also I can't tell you when the next video will be, which is precisely like every other week. But before that happens, I thought I'd smash open a couple sick looking fly cases to do a little shoot for this quick video. So last time I was up here, it was for the Spark shoot. Kind of regretted not bringing a camera, a proper stills camera up here last time. So I'm up here again. And you can see light coming up now. It's looking sweet. Is it? Fuck. Fine. Look at that though, that view though. T-shirts and sunny's weather is great, but this is the season to do landscapes, those fiery skies, that nip in the air, and the different shades of interestingness. This is the time to get some serious landscape shooting in. Oh, what better way than spend an early Sunday morning, apart from going to church? Isn't that right, Paul?
Church.
Yeah.
I've just got off my knees.
What?
That's what they do on country paths, isn't it?
That's right. Anyway, I'm here with the Fuji GFX 50, whatever they call it. And sunrise, and that. But more important than that is this. After all, I need this medium format beast to shoot that. Sexual.
Sex flag.
So yes, the Fuji GFX. Medium format camera in a lightweight body. If we're just talking about the body and the battery, it's about 800 grams. That's nothing. The lens is a beast though, it's gargantuan. Still, the combined weight is not going to put any discs out of whack. Of course, the interesting thing with this is that it looks just like any other Fuji camera. It looks like a big XT2. If the XT2 is Danny DeVito, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Certainly, it seems like the viewfinder's been on steroids too. Wow. It's like having a TV strapped to your eye. It's massive. 3.69 million EVF, 0.85 times magnification. It's so large you might fall in. And it's detachable if you don't like big bright EVFs, or you've got detachable logic which you keep removed from your brain. Why would anybody want to use the LCD screen? But you can. It's a tilty one as well. It tilts this way too. Just like the XT2 in a weird way. It has plenty of X DNA splashed everywhere. Apart from the bigger battery, it's all a familiar feeling. But the quite bizarre thing with the GFX is that, as it's like the other Fuji cameras, it has stuff like film simulations. So it's a bit like a hipster camera. Says the guy with a hat that looks like a condom and wearing a leather jacket to go hiking. Anyway, the design of GFX makes sense. Those old world style dials are way better than any modern nondescript dials. Let's try one of those. So yes, I love the way the GFX operates, but I'm curious to see how these files look. I have to say though, the film simulations are pretty damn good. These film simulations aren't some Instagram style filters. These are the real deal. Well, the real deal is film, but you know what I mean. But unlike the other Fuji cameras, this isn't an X-Trans sensor. This is a 51 megapixel CMOS sensor. A bit like the one in the Pentax. So basically, this is a Pentax rehoused, reskinned in a fancy jacket by Fuji. Only kidding. Look, it's just the sensor that's the same, and besides, Hasselblad used the same fuller frame, I just made that up, sensor, which comes in a tad smaller than actual medium format. Oh, that ray of light. Oh yes, hells yeah. Oh, the colours are lush. There's nothing better than shooting a beautiful landscape untouched by mankind with not a soul in sight. You know, I can just Photoshop Usher out, Ah, bollocks. The dude has stood perfectly still for ages. I thought he passed away standing up. It might be long exposure, but he's still going to show up in my image. I only have a very brief moment to take that shot, so I have no other choice. Thankfully, at least, the contrast detect AF shift quickly enough when I want it to in this light. But even though we tried this out at the photo show, it seemed a little bit slow to focus. It's not too bad now. The focus speed is alright, isn't it?
This feels a lot faster.
Yeah.
On the touchscreen, I noticed as well, when I was just zipping around trying to get between the dark bits and the light bits where I wanted to focus
Yeah.
and meter off, this is a lot faster than the show models that we were shown.
It's pretty damn good.
It does feel a lot faster.
I like this a lot. Focus in low light is not so consistent though, nor quick. It's a contrast detect AF, so it's no surprise that it struggles when there's not so much contrast. Talking about low light, the noise is low, as you'd expect with a bigger sensor. At ISO 12800 you get usable files, but noise is visible. The black camera not looking so black anymore, although it doesn't detract hugely from the image. Still, it doesn't seem a huge step up from 35mm size sensors.
It's those colours though, always go on.
I know.
Fuji colours are the best colours
They are.
out of everything.
I would say they're probably better than Canon.
Yes.
Fuji know their shizzle, that's for sure. That should be their tagline. Despite the not always so great autofocus, it's not exactly the camera you take for subjects on the move. For this kind of work, the images look great. The files are ever so detailed and rich. Check out the detail that I can pull back in those highlights too. Fujifilm has carved their own niche with this mirrorless, mediumish format camera, but the trouble is that the GFX is perhaps a bit too niche. Does look like it's going to rain, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
A $6,500 medium format camera was never going to have mass appeal, but still, we live in a time when you can get insane resolution from a 35mm size sensor, and that would seem like the more sensible choice. But why have sensible when you can have that little bit of X factor? And this is just as versatile as any other camera. So yes, 51 megapixels, medium format, the GFX 50 is a fantastic landscape camera. 3 FPS isn't exactly the highest burst rate in the world, but it's not just a landscape shooter. It's good for other stuff like, portraits and selfies.